Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Trauma Pond HQ. My name's Olivia and this is where we sit by the pond and we have a little chat. Today I thought I would share something because I've spoken about this particular story quite a bit in my personal life and people have asked me for templates of it. And it's breaking up with a toxic friend.
Let's go.
I don't know how many of you this will resonate with, but this is something that, we always have one person in our life, whether it is family or friends, work colleagues, anything like that. It ends up taking a toll on us, but we get to choose who we have in our life. And if that means that it is going to be a friend, you want to make sure that your friends are within the right frequency and within your circle that are not going to cause any toxic reactions to your life. I thought I would explain this particular friend. I'd known her for 5 years, just talking from experience of what I had to endure with her. This is something that I really hope that a lot of you will resonate with and maybe start to understand the type of toxic people that could be in your life. With a little bit of a backstory, we actually met through bodybuilding and we got to know each other very, very quickly. Now, this girl, she had lived out in Australia just a couple of years at that point, and I had been here for almost 8. She was one of those people, very loud, very brash, very much in your face, loved to talk. But it never dawned on me what type of talking she was interested in. She was very much about gossip. That's not the way I am inclined to be. Yeah, everybody likes gossip. Girls especially, it's just how we communicate with certain things. And unfortunately, it is a toxic trait of women. Why is my channel always talking about how bad women are?
Women.
I did not anticipate this. This is crazy. I did not anticipate to talk about negative women the way that I have. I genuinely did not think that this was ever going to be a thing. And I've got a couple of other videos coming soon as well about toxic women. What's going on? What's wrong with us?
I don't like where this is going.
This particular friend, anytime I was going through something, she would really minimize everything that I was experiencing. But she always wanted to talk about the certain things that were going on in her life that were so terrible, so traumatic, so bad, that ever trying to put the same kind of energy that she would give anyone else would automatically see as a massive attack. Now, I am not saying that this person is narcissistic. You can deduce for yourself when I tell you exactly what made me write this particular letter. Well, it was a text message, but it was so long it may as well have been a letter. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the episodes of Trauma Pond HQ, do a little favor for me and hit that like button for this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss another episode. All right, back to the rest of it. Okay. I was away for a year. We went out for dinner. We talked about a few things, but it was in the dinner. And I don't know what had triggered me. I think I was becoming more aware of toxic behavior. But in the dinner, I was very aware of the fact that she was making my situation of what had prompted me to leave the state. She was making out that I had a lot to do with that particular person. And this was the tipping point for myself when I was talking about a toxic situation that I was involved with. It was a guy I was seeing for a very short time interstate that just so happened to be narcissistic and the horrible things that he had done before I left. Now, when I told her this situation, she was the only person out of anyone that I told that she said, well, what did you do to make him do that? Everything I told you is exactly what happened. So I didn't see her as someone that was going to actually be there as a validating friend. It was when she said that I realized something wasn't quite right, but it didn't stop me from changing how I was going to act with her. A couple of weeks after that particular catch-up, she was crying to me down the phone saying how bad her boyfriend was being. Now, this is another thing as well. She would constantly talk about how bad her boyfriend was. And this is a guy that she had been with at this point for 7 years, constantly trying to persuade him to marry her. Now, the good thing is this guy has stood his ground and not put a ring on her. But in saying that, I can't say that everything she says is 100% right. And I don't believe that most of his actions are great either. If anything, I actually see him as very emotionally unavailable. That's the best way I'll put it, but I don't know what they're like behind closed doors, so I can't say that wholeheartedly. Anyway, the night came that she ended up staying at my house, and was apparently the first time that she'd ever done this. I then later found out that she had done this a couple of times. Now, you're probably going to say, well, why didn't you see these patterns before? Nobody sees these patterns straight away. There are different types of cluster B traits. I am not saying that she lives into this cluster B category. I'm not saying she's narcissistic, but she was definitely very toxic. I was starting to open my eyes to what my friend actually was that night. She just loved to get that kind of attention. And when I look back on our relationship and all the times that we had been out together, all the topics of discussion that we would have, it was very much either gossip or trying to get attention. She was one of those types of people that had to have a picture every single time she was out of the house.
Kim, would you stop taking pictures of yourself? Your sister's going to jail.
So you can cast your assumptions on that alone. Now, between that and the next time that I saw her, I will say I was avoiding her. I didn't want to actually spend any time with her because I felt like she was draining my energy. Being around someone like that really does make you have to be on show and can emotionally and mentally drain you.
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
It came time that she had sent out another text message to me asking for a catch up. And in all honesty, I gaslit myself for this catch up. And this is what I mean. I told myself, you know what? You could be so wrong about your assumptions. And just a couple of those incidences were things that you have created into your head that has made you think these things. I was gaslighting myself. I was telling myself that I was creating these own ideas in my head about her toxic traits. That's the power these things have, no matter how much you have been brought up into it, regardless of your interactions. If you think that there is a possibility that you could be completely wrong about the situations that definitely happened, you're gaslighting yourself. So I decided to prove myself wrong and meet up with her. And when I say 5 minutes into seeing her, I was already done.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit.
Oh, I was done. I was so done. I was cooked. My brain was fried in the first 5 minutes. Because all she wanted to talk about was how she had just caved to get her lips done. And I'm not going to lie, some people just can't get their lips done. Or maybe it's just because the person that did it didn't know what they were doing. Okay, that's just one topic of conversation, Olivia. That was in 5 minutes. What else happened? Okay, let me tell you. Right off the topic of her lips that were pretty much almost hitting me every time that she spoke. Look, if you want to get your lips done, that's absolutely fine. But I do question if anyone ever gets their lips done. Don't get me wrong, I've thought about it myself. But the longer I go without touching my face, the better I feel. Makeup is bad enough. Anyway, post-lip conversation, we then started talking about work. And this was the nail in the coffin that really told me that this person does not need to exist in my life. Just for context, she worked in the fitness industry and she was working at a particular gym. Now, another red flag as well, this particular person must have changed jobs 10 times in 8 years. But this particular incident, she was a manager at the gym and she was raving about how great one of the staff was there. This is what's going to really tell you a lot about this woman. When this woman was telling me how great this employee was, she was also saying that she had decided to take a day off and work from home so that she could get physio and all that sort of stuff done. Unfortunately, this staff member had called in sick 2 hours before her shift was supposed to start. My friend was then telling me how, in almost a gloaty way, how she absolutely demolished this staff member who she had just previously been praising for always doing work on time, always showing up, being fantastic at what they do, to then be sick the same day that she decided to work from home. Now, when she told me this, I just looked at her like this. That's a really dicky thing to do. To which her response was, no, it's not, Olivia. I want to make the lip pout. No, it's not, Olivia. I really could not understand the reason why anyone would start singing praises about someone, saying that they were absolutely fantastic, and then for them to be sick that very day and call in 2 hours before they realise that they can't do the shift. Here's the problem I have with it. When I said to her that that's a dicky move, and she said, no, it's not, Olivia, You don't know what it's like to be a manager. I have to do all of these things by myself.
Good job.
Again, I am not making assumptions about her personality, but you can take the hint. After that, I just ended up looking at her like this. And then she said, don't look at me like that. FYI, I am the world's worst person to play poker with. This face does not know how to freeze. I don't know if it's the ADHD, but yeah. My partner also says I'm the world's worst liar. Can't lie to save my life.
So that was a f***ing lie.
On top of all of the other topics, she was talking about how she is constantly in crisis mode, pretty much saying how she's questioning being in her relationship, like she has done for the last 5 years. If anything, when I think back on our entire relationship, that was the main topic of her discussion, was just to constantly criticize her relationship. Pretty much all the time.
Boring.
So, this is the moment I know you've been waiting for, but this is the text message that I sent my toxic friend the day after this encounter. Hi, hun. I thought I'd send you a text after reflecting on our catch-up yesterday. I'm sending you this as a text instead of a voice or over the phone or in person so that you can reflect back on it and even show people if you wish. I have nothing to hide for this. After the last time I saw you, I was very concerned about you as a person and a friend because of your choices. But then after that, you chose to stay in crisis, and for that, I am sorry for you. Reflecting on our friendship, there have been a few red flags that I've been looking back on over the years. I gave you a responsive critique about your management style, not just to an employee, but to a person. Not only did you reject it, you put it down and refused to be open to the idea that you could be wrong, because you cannot take criticism. It also showed me that your lack of emotional IQ made me reflect on that over the years too. Just to be sure that you're aware, I know that you're not a bad person, but you have been through a lot and you're choosing to go through this stage of your life alone because it's all you know how to do. In saying that, you're not open to the idea of growth and you are just waiting for the world around you to tell you what it is that you need to do instead of actually doing what you need to do. By the way, I've told her to go to therapy many, many times. I can't see value in this relationship anymore. When I have other relationships that bring awareness, high ambitions and drive, these are things that I know that you can do, but won't. And it is sad to me because through my own growth and development, I have learned what is important to me. You need to be open to knowing the fact that you can be wrong. You need to be open and honest to the people around you instead of lying to them and yourself. You need to stop being critical of others when you have more important problems of yourself. I'm saying this because I feel you need to know it. And being in your presence yesterday drained me. After everything I have been through in life, I have learned to be very choosy about who I have in my circle and the people who add certain value to it. If you ever decide to get help and grow as a person, I'll be here. If not, well, for my own health, it is best to be acquaintances. P.S. Without emotional intelligence, you can't be a good parent. You and I know this better than anyone. If you feel like that has resonated with you in some way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that exact text put down below, and then you can take that for yourself and adapt it to your situation. This person then responded with, "Thanks for the message, Olivia. Have a nice life." I was not sad with her choice. That was her choice. And if anything, when you start cutting out toxic people, you feel so much better for it. So if this helps, that text is going to be below. Take it, copy it, use it for yourself, whatever way it helps. Tell me if you decided to use that template. And I hope that something along these lines helps you with any interaction that you might have. If you have enjoyed this episode, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. Say whatever you want, I'm already traumatized. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and listening to this episode of Trauma Pond HQ. I hope to see you again soon. And yeah, love you. Mwah.